Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, I'm Dan Marty.
And I'm John Cena Sr.
It is the month of December. The holidays are here. I can hear the jingle bells ringing. We'll be back with a fabulous Friday installment of Wrestling Insiders. Wrestling fans, we explode into Christmas for the 9th annual Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive Cyber Fan Fest. A human sea of superstar guests have come to MWF Studios for live interviews, tributes, and virtual autograph signings. The good news is, if you miss these superstar signings, we have individual autograph photos available as well as all-inclusive VIP packages throughout the season. If you want them for yourself or to give us a holiday gift for Christmas, get the order in by December the 19th. On Christmas night, we'll reveal the winner of the massive Christmas week mega raffle, where one lucky fan wins an entire jackpot of prizes, again, to benefit the Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive. 2020 has been a brutal year for the economy, as well as our toy drive efforts. We could use any and all the help you could give us. Be part of the professional wrestling community. If you're going to take part in any toy drive this year, let it be one where we update Santa Claus's GPS and honor Paul Bearer's memory. Head on over to BostonWrestling.com now.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, anywhere you may be, we wish you, what's the phrase, Johnny? I can't remember it.
I think the phrase is a Merry Christmas.
Hopefully no one was offended by that one.
You know what? Let me tell you something. It's all about Christmas. It's all about Hanukkah. It's all about Kwanzaa. Not happy holidays. It's Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. Let's get it right, folks. For once, let's get it right.
Unbelievable, Johnny. I think you're 110%. What was the Cena Christmas like this year?
As it was every year, chaotic, hectic. We came together as a unit like everybody else. Unfortunately, there were other of my sons that weren't able to get here. My son, Stephen, from New York. John wasn't able to come up. But we got together as a unit, as a family, spreading the love, as I said way back before, the gift that you cannot tear apart, the gift that has to be given by you, the gift that cannot be bought or sold. You must open your heart and give that one gift of love. Because when you look around with all this pandemic, just think, love is what it's going to take.
Well, Johnny, I know the Boston Herald newspaper can almost be looked at as a tabloid, but one of their headlines was Margot Ouellette was spotted trying to sneak down your chimney to get down under your Christmas tree. Was there any validity to that headline?
I don't believe there is, because the fire was roaring. We were opening presents, sharing a meal, and now Moniz has a black belt in karate. I'm not sure it'd be a wonderful thing to happen.
You have a little Cena Christmas cat fight between Moniz and Margot.
1-on-1, I'll referee. That's 2 out of 3.
I might put my money on New York's finest, Moniz.
Winner.
But you know what? Margot may have thoughts of her own. I don't know. I
understand now she's looking at Dan Marty. I put her on that, chase spot, and she might even be looking for T.C. Rastani. I don't know.
Well, I understand she is in line to be the stunt double for the new Ruth Bader Ginsburg movie coming out. So maybe there'll be new life for Moniz for Margot in 2021. I don't know.
Oh, well, go Margot.
All right, Johnny, something that has been bringing some cheer to wrestling fans to tie it into Christmas is, I'm sure the aficionado you are of AEW, you saw that Kenny Omega is the new champion, defeating the former Dean Ambrose, Jon Moxley, and now is in a very interesting place with Don Callis of Impact Wrestling, where he's almost a cousin to Impact Wrestling now. He's going to be appearing on some of their TV shows, some of their pay-per-views. Very interesting, politically, so to speak, within the annals of wrestling to see two major companies work together like that.
I think it's genius.
Yeah.
55,000 more viewers. 55,000 doesn't sound like much, but for a show like Impact that really wasn't quite there, what a boost. What a boost. And what a genius move to have that interaction between these two promotions. I say it's great.
Well, if you look at all of the platforms combined, the first week that Omega was on Impact on AXS TV, between the television and the online airings, it reached 750,000 people, which is, it's on par with what WWE NXT does in a lot of weeks in just its television offering. So granted, it's certainly not there as a competitively with those two shows yet as far as a TV property, but at least it shows that there's a heartbeat in Impact Wrestling, and I think that's really what we can only hope for in 2020 headed into 2021, that the company continues to survive and provide full-time jobs for a lot of people.
If not, there may be a total merger. It may become a super AEW with a subsidiary of like an Impact NXT situation. But I think whoever thought that idea up was great. It's almost like when there was the invasion on WWE. The lower group was going to take over. Nexus did that.
Yeah.
It was great. The SmackDown group, Raw group, it just works. It makes sense. That's wrestling. That gives you a storyline.
Well, rumors abound that in 2021 you may see the Impact Wrestling tag team Gallows and Anderson compete in a AEW ring, which would also add a little bit of interest, a little spice. And as you know, as the master cook that you are, variety is the spice of life.
Indeed. And I'm just hoping in 2021, please God, COVID is gone. We got the thing beat. And if AEW ever comes to the area, I'd like to attend a live show.
Well, if life can, or when it gets back to normal, I don't know if it will be by April, but AEW is slated to be here in Boston in April.
Well, let's see what happens in April. Right now, we got to get through December, January, February, and March.
Long way to go, without a shadow of a doubt. But do you think Kenny Omega right now is a great face for AEW? Would he be the guy that you would have that championship gold around the waist on? A man that had some classics to those fans that love a New Japan Pro Wrestling style in recent years, and now fans in America are really getting to taste him for the very first time. Even is in the Boston Wrestling MWF library from way back in 2005.
Omega is a different style, different type. I followed him in New Japan Pro. He proved that he could do what everybody else did. He spoke Japanese, I believe. Did he even become a citizen over there?
That I am unsure of either way.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. But he brings a different style to AEW and Impact Wrestling. Would I put the gold on him? I'm not sure I would really do that. If I did, it would be for a short term only. Omega is still, in my opinion, is still building the Omegaism, if I can use that word that I just made up, within this country, within this group. He's great on AEW, but if you notice the stars that are really getting people to follow, it'll always be a Jericho, always be a Moxley, always be a Cody Rhodes. So I don't know. I don't know if I really would have done that. I probably would have done it for the situation that exists now.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see who he faces and how it comes out.
Well, I think it's safe to say right now it is the most talked about scenario in professional wrestling as we end 2020. I think the fans are, for once, or very rarely, I should say, they don't know what the next twist is to come next. They're on the edge of their seats wondering, will Omega be wrestling on Impact on AXS TV? Will Omega wrestle on a Impact Wrestling pay-per-view? Will we see more Impact wrestlers appearing on AEW Dynamite on Wednesday nights? Maybe, not to say that Impact is quite at the level of a developmental territory, but maybe Impact could be used as a place to groom so many of the young independent talents that AEW has gone out of its way to sign with really no place to put them.
I agree 100%. And I think the only word I can use, or words I can use, that you and I have used many times is, finally, someone is creating a wrestling storyline.
Well,
Tune in this week to find out. Tune in the week after to find out. You see, that's what it's all about. It's not about a championship for 30 days. It's not about I'm going to pull your eyeball out and we're going to have a revenge match. That's not what it's about. It's about presenting professional wrestling, a believable product that people are able to follow. And you and I want to tune in at 8 p.m. to get that story.
And, maybe the relationship can expand with other promotions. Omega is also the AAA world champion down in Mexico, and maybe he could, maybe outside of WWE, become a traveling world champion that goes from promotion to promotion to promotion. I'm sure with Ring of Honor, where they're kind of, to be generous, kind of flat right now, I'm sure they'd love to have the opportunity to have Kenny Omega come in from time to time for a couple of shots for a world championship match. I think it would be good for the industry overall.
Perhaps. But I think that, you don't want to spread the peanut butter too thin.
You like a thick peanut butter.
Yeah, well, you know what? You got something good right here, right now.
All right.
Let's not be like the guy in New York who was selling hot dogs for $1, and he was selling millions, and he said, they're so good, I'm going to go for $1.50. Oh, they're even great. I'm going for 2. And when he hit 2, nobody bought his hot dogs. So you know what? Don't get greedy.
You think putting him in too many promotions would look greedy?
Well, how are you going to cover all those spots? And now you create a superhero, and you put your belt in jeopardy. It doesn't make sense to me.
Well, see, on the flip side, I guess we disagree. I kind of like the idea of it. It almost goes back to the days of the traveling NWA world champion, when they'd go to one of any of the 20 to 25 different territories any given week and take on the best of the best that territory had to offer, and the locals would be hopeful that their regional top star would be the one to finally unseat the well-known world champion.
So who goes over? Are you going to take a guy like Omega and let him be taken out by whomever? You've built up this man to the point where he now carries the gold. Hopefully he'll carry it for a while. It won't be one of these 15-day, 30-day championships like the 24/7 title. We'll have somebody that will defend it, somebody who can prove a champion is a champion. I'm not a believer anymore of let's put this guy up against King Kong. The bigger you bring them, supposedly the harder they fall, but the more unbelievable the product is. Look at McIntyre against Styles. It's David against Goliath.
You don't think there's a lot of believability in that program?
Please.
Well, I tend to agree with you on that one. It is a bit of a mismatch. I think AJ Styles as a heel is kind of miscast. I think the fans really like him, and especially with his size and demeanor, I think he's better cast on the superhero role, so to speak, especially the way he works in the ring with that kind of high-flying style that the fans enjoy.
They've done him an injustice.
Yeah.
They have done him an injustice. And my opinion is he's better off going against Daniel Bryan.
Oh, much.
Yeah. I mean, why not make it to the point where fans are interested in what you have to offer? I mean, I really, in the last time we spoke, I went way out there with the Goldberg match coming for WrestleMania. I'm just making an example of how ludicrous I think this whole thing is becoming.
Well, as far as WrestleMania goes, it's a big event every year that everyone looks forward to, but where there is so much free television to present each week, along with all the other pay-per-views each year, sometimes it's kind of hard to come up with that fresh match without going to a quote-unquote outsider that isn't part of the weekly routine. And I think with Roman Reigns, as you mentioned, with that potential Goldberg match, I mean, look at what does he have to work with over on SmackDown on the face side? You have Daniel Bryan, Rey Mysterio, Kevin Owens, his cousin that he feuded with. I mean, really, what marquee match does Roman Reigns have with the grouping? Not much.
I would bring back Brock Lesnar.
Well, I think that time will come once the live fans come. It's going to be interesting to see if, whether it be Florida or some other locale, that if WWE can sneak some fans in for the big event this year. I think it would certainly add to the ambiance.
Well, if the vaccine works, which I believe it will, and people are not reluctant to go out there and at least get a shot and take part in what's happening, because if you follow the news now, they're saying 49% of the people are saying no. Who knows what's going to happen?
49% of the people are saying no, really?
49% of the people on a small poll are saying no, they don't want to do it. So the majority in this country, who knows what's going to happen down the road. But we can only hope and pray. If that happens, then it will become a live WrestleMania.
And that's what I think we can all hope for and want to see. And then for those that are fans of wrestling, I think life will feel a little bit back to normal.
Well, that's when you bring Goldberg in as the heel, bring Reigns in as the heel, he'll turn face, Goldberg will lose, Roman Reigns will be what they always wanted him to be, the face.
All right, Johnny, your thoughts on a few superstars right now that probably feel like they got a little bah humbug treatment, including one of the more featured superstars since the summertime, Big Keith Lee. I guess Vince McMahon has been unimpressed with a few of the big men in his company, and he's sent them back to the Performance Center for training twice a week now that they have so much free time, where there are no house shows, where they're only having the one wrestling taping a week per brand. Do you think that's a good idea to try and get these guys maybe in a little bit better shape, to tune up the skills a little bit, sharpen the knife, so to speak?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know what? I'm a believer, and you can never learn too much. And besides, not only by sending me back down there to hone my own skill and perhaps learn something, perhaps I can pass something on. I think Vince is a genius. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I take nothing away from him, Paul Levesque, Stephanie, Shane, nothing away from those guys. Pritchard Hayes, geniuses. So I think the move is a good move. Anybody that takes it the wrong way, you always got to look at it the right way.
Well, I think it was kind of evident that they had lost the interest they had in Keith Lee initially when he came into the company working with Drew McIntyre and even going over on Randy Orton his first couple of weeks in. They put him in a singlet that wasn't very flattering, so to speak, which I think was a message that was sent to him that wasn't received the way it should have been, because I didn't see any improvement in the physique over the past couple of months. And, you know, nothing against the man. I think he's very talented, but there were a lot of nights. And again, you're only working one day a week, not a full-time schedule of 4 live events a week. He can look lethargic on television.
Well, you know what? Sometimes you just got to look in the mirror and face reality.
Well, and hopefully those people don't look at it as a negative. They take the negative and turn it into a positive. They take that extra ring time with veterans, and they can make the most of the opportunity, not only for their technical ability, but maybe to get themselves in better physical condition. You know, it is, as much as this is an athletic presentation, it's a cosmetic presentation too.
Look, I'm not saying you have to be the muscle-bound guy out there like a Reigns, a Goldberg. I'm not saying you have to be that. Look at Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Kevin is in shape, but he wrestles. He can do what he needs done. He looks good for who and what he is and what he's supposed to be. The Fiend is another good example. So,
right, exactly. Yeah, he's not exactly Tony Atlas in 1982. You're right.
No. But you've got to be able to accept criticism. You've got to be able to work on those things that are weak. You've got to be able to say, okay, I'll do what you're asking me to do with an open mind, because the next step, if you don't have an open mind, good luck on your next endeavor.
In your future endeavors, as they like to say.
You got it.
And I think that's the way it should be. There are too many people competing for a limited amount of spots right now. Look at all those trainees and signees down at NXT at different levels. Every one of them would love to leave the day-to-day grind at the PC training every day and to become the full-time WWE superstar and get that big money contract.
I agree. We'll see what happens. I can tell you this, 2020 will go out with a bang, but I can't wait to see for the wrestling world how 2021 begins to shape up and eventually grows. We've got some great things with WWE, NXT, I understand, may being renamed, new talent. We're going to open up something in India now. We're just going to have it coming from all directions. AEW, Impact Wrestling. Who knows who else will jump on board? I do believe that Ring of Honor, I think that may become a thing of the past.
Stick a fork in Ring of Honor, perhaps, in 2021.
I think so. I hate to say it. A lot of great talent there. Some of my good friends there. But unfortunately, I think the machine is wound down.
Well, there was some talk that if WWE does open this developmental territory in India sometime in 2021, that you might be the general manager of the group. Is there any truth to that rumor? Or maybe, I don't know if that's something you could even disclose at this point.
What's my favorite saying? Let's keep the fans guessing.
All right. Well, that's how Margot likes it, I guess. All right, Johnny, we hope you had a very Merry Christmas over there with all of the Cenas and the extended Cena family.
It was wonderful. It was great. I look forward to seeing everybody after the first of the year.
And we'll be back, I guess, maybe with a version like this on New Year's night. Maybe we could have, instead of the Slammy Awards that WWE is bringing back this year, maybe we could have the Fabo Awards in a few different categories to let the fans know what you think of some of the bigger moments and wrestlers of 2020.
I like that.
The Fabo Awards on New Year's night.
Oh, that'll be awesome. I'm all for it. I'm in. And you know what? You got a gold-plated bottle of Fabo Pop.
Unbelievable, fans. Maybe we'll put some categories together. We'll put it out on social media to see what you think. Johnny, as we wrap up this show, we don't want to forget, just because Christmas is ending doesn't mean the goodwill has to. We know there's a lot of fine folks out there that got, the little Christmas card with the little payday in it from grandma or grandpa or an aunt or an uncle that didn't know what gift to buy. The Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive, it continues, fans. Great wrestling merchandise. We got the autographed photos. We got the VIP packages. We got a little bit of everything because you know what? Even in 2021, Santa's still going to need a little assist. It's a lot of work for one man to cover a whole planet.
You got it. Keep Christmas with you all through the year.
All right, Johnny. We have some fans that sometimes chime in during the premieres that sometimes on the holidays they're a little lonely. Would you have any advice to those that maybe are lonely around the holiday times?
You're never really alone. There's always somebody out there. There's always a way to correct it. There's always a way to interject and make a little light to eliminate some of the loneliness. I understand what it means to be by yourself. I was there. But you can't let that happen because you become depressed and then things happen that shouldn't happen. Try to go with help groups. Try to find people who are sharing Christmas dinners, giving out Christmas dinners. Try to help kids that need help for that day. There's no need to be alone. So let's all of us out there within the sound of Dan's voice and my voice, if you know somebody like that, let's reach out. Let's help. After all, it's the time of giving. And what better way to give than the Paul Bearer Toy Drive and the love it takes to bring somebody out of that loneliness into the light and happiness.
Well, to me, John, Christmas night, it almost feels like the day after WrestleMania. You have to wait a whole year for it to happen again.
You're right.
I miss the music. I miss the lights.
Well, but it's always there. We have a tendency to put things in boxes and say it's over. I'll tell you, I'm a fan of Sesame Street Christmas. I play that every year for myself, my granddaughters. Big Bird said it right. The song is, keep Christmas with you all through the year. And if we did that, stop and think about how great things would be, because it doesn't end on December 25th or 26th. It's still there. There's still love. There's still happiness. There's still cheer. There's still giving presents. There's still all these things that happen. We just don't have the sparkling trees and the music. Christmas is with us every day.
Well,
Every day.
Outside of a Sesame Street Christmas, do you have any other favorite holiday classics that you like to play each year?
I do. I like Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol with Alistair Sims.
That's one of your favorites.
It is, especially the colorized version.
Well, I'm a National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation kind of guy.
As my sons are, and that one, The Christmas Story, with Ralphie and his BB gun.
You like that? Oh, where Santa Claus kicks him in the head and he goes down the slide. You like that one too?
Gonna shoot your eye out with a BB gun. Yep.
Well, I could see you with the lamp that the father had in that movie, right up against your front window of the leg.
You trying to say that's one of Monique's legs?
Well, maybe Margot. Maybe she'll send it to you as a gift.
Monique.
All right, wrestling fans, we hope you had a very Merry Christmas and holiday season. New Year's Eve, New Year's Day is yet to come. I think that'll be a toned-down celebration in 2020 for the obvious reasons. We hope more than anything, though, we don't want to see anyone wind up like I did as a result of some thoughtless scumbag. Don't drink and drive. I think that's another great phrase to put out there.
I'm with you 100% on that one, my friend.
All right, for my partner in crime, John Cena Sr., who you enjoy every Friday night here on Fabulous Fridays, we'll be back with the Hall of Famer, Mr. USA, Tony Atlas, Tuesday at 9. Enjoy the rest of your Christmas night, folks. It was a pleasure to have you join us. Johnny, any final thoughts in the final 30 seconds?
Merry Christmas and have a blessed New Year.
All right, we'll see you in 2021, folks. Good night.
Wrestling fans, we explode into Christmas for the 9th annual Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive Cyber Fan Fest. A human sea of superstar guests have come to MWF Studios for live interviews, tributes, and virtual autograph signings. The good news is, if you miss these superstar signings, we have individual autograph photos available, as well as all-inclusive VIP packages throughout the season. If you want them for yourself or to give us a holiday gift for Christmas, get the order in by December the 19th. On Christmas night, we'll reveal the winner of the massive Christmas Week Mega Raffle, where one lucky fan wins an entire jackpot of prizes, again, to benefit the Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive. 2020 has been a brutal year for the economy, as well as our toy drive efforts. We could use any and all the help you could give us. Be part of the professional wrestling community. If you're going to take part in any toy drive this year, let it be one where we update Santa Claus's GPS and honor Paul Bearer's memory. Head on over to BostonWrestling.com now.